gone fine, and it's gone for 4. Change of plan for Root. He's going to have a sweep. 149 for 3.
Really smart batting. Trying to hit it too hard. He tried. Just a little dab. Trying to get it to the right of Mohammad Shami. He's set quite wide at short fine leg and succeeding. They're not going to let Jadeja dry things out. And a bowling change. Mohammad Siraj comes in and Shami takes a break.
Well, from Shami to rotate their seamers. See if Siraj can use the reverse. He can reverse it. Most Indians on the pitches they're brought up almost from the subcontinent. Mid on is deep. Johnny Bairstow pumped Siraj over his head a couple of times in the first innings. Almost bowling with a long on. That's a loosener. And that for Johnny Bairstow in the nick that he's in is bread and butter.
Asking to be hit, really. First delivery. Shami bowled and exerted a lot of pressure. Siraj just quite loose. He bowls a lot fuller. A bit skiddier than Shami. Johnny Bairstow is not in a mind to let those ones go. Siraj is good at reversing the ball, but need the seam to stay upright. And there it's scrambled. The shine is well set for the in-swinger, the reverse swinging in-swinger. And if the seam is not right, it doesn't go late, it doesn't go as far. Shami and Bumrah both beautiful seam positions. New ball, old ball, reverse swinging ball, doesn't matter. Siraj, not as good. Really needs to present that seam.
Edged in the gap. And goes away for 4. Bahari just going to his left. He's fairly close there. It went quickly, but he just tipped it over the bar. They move back. He moves back a yard now. Kohli just saying, come a bit deeper. He's in there with his shin pads on. He's looked too close. 157 for 3. Viraj and Bairstow having words.
Cricket's got fiery. This is a wonderful battle between Mohammad Siraj and Johnny Bairstow. No quarter given. Well, today at Edgbaston, this test match has felt like a real event. The cricket has been scintillating. The crowd on both sides have played their part. It's like a cauldron. The atmosphere, fabulous. Root is reverse sweeping out of the rough.
It's fascinating, this set up beautifully. You can see they want to do something so that Jadeja is just not allowed to bowl and block one end up. You can see in the last 2-3 overs there's a change in tactics. They're looking to use the paddle sweep, the reverse sweep. Because England know if they free up this end, Jadeja's end, and Bumrah might be forced to get a bowling change at that end.
So you think it's that rather than they fear getting out because he's hitting the rough patches? Because there's no time pressure. It's 2:20 more. It seems a long way off. It is a long way off. But we've got the rest of today and all of tomorrow. Well, he's timed it fairly well. The outfield is quick enough, but won't get to the fence. Great dive, a divot, and the 50 partnership.
A very good partnership. I think more than the fear of getting out, they don't want the momentum to go. They don't want the rhythm to go where one end is blocked and the other end, looking for runs. You want runs to come at both ends. Strike to rotate, and they've done it beautifully in this partnership. Sudden shift of gears in the last 15 minutes or so.
Sweeping hard into the fence. Very good from Joe Root.
It's very good to see is the positions he gets into and the meeting points. To send the ball in that direction, you've got to meet it at a certain area. As he gets across with that front foot so that he can get it finer and down. He's one of the best players of spin in world cricket. Certainly amongst the top batsmen in world cricket today, he's the best.
High praise.
Yeah, and that includes Virat Kohli. He is the best, Joe Root, because of his ability to sweep, to keep things moving. And I'm talking of the Smiths, the Root, Virat Kohli, Kane Williamson. I'm talking of these four right-handers. His ability to play spin and score off spin is better than anybody else.
166 for 3. Well, absolutely vital partnership on so many levels. Only 57, but it had arrested some enormous momentum that India had generated either side of tea. The dismissal of Crawley, the dismissal of Pope without scoring third ball, and then the run out of Alex Lees, who played really nicely for 56. The blink of an eye, it went from 107 without loss to 109 for 3, and the crowd, the Indian supporters here at Edgbaston, were right behind their team. So far, these two have done it beautifully. A couple of close calls, Root with a couple of tight LBWs, and then that drop catch in the previous over of Siraj from Hari, stationed at second slip. I don't like that slip staggering though, Ravi, I have to say. I know it went straight to him and just blasted through his hands. but they're almost now trying to cover too much ground. What do you think about the way they staggered those two catches next to Rishabh Pant?
Field normally goes fine once it starts reversing. So you won't have too many square on the offside like a gully or a fourth slip. You want that man, Vihari, to come in a little finer. The gap between first slip and Vihari is a little too much.
Watch you go straight to him now, eh? Pinpoint accuracy. Deep square leg will keep that to a couple.
I think with 19.3 overs left, I think the bowling has to be done by the main four. There's no point looking at Shardul Thakur or anyone else. Get your main bowlers to bowl these 19 overs, which means at least 5 out of those 19 should be bowled by Bumrah. Bumrah and Shami share 9, and Jadeja at the other end shares it with Siraj.
Thakur has bowled 3. His workload is light. Today's already bowled 12. So very doable for those big four to get India through to stump. Certainly they'll be stiff and sore come tomorrow morning if it gets that far. Oh, that's a very late pull-out. That is a very late pull-out. And I don't think that's got anything to do with people moving behind the bowler's arm, of which that has been a frequent occurrence during this test match. I think something went straight into Joe's eye. Kevin Peterson did that to Glenn McGrath, and Glenn McGrath bowled the ball straight at him. Where was that, KP? Lords, he says.
What a surprise.
Fine. And fast and 4.
Just drifting onto the pads, but Root ready for it, plays it so late. So allows it to come very last minute, good use of the wrists, close the face of the blade. That's what happens. Bowl to top players, the margin of error is so little.
And his movements are usually so rhythmical. What your point about in scoring against the spinners is equally relevant to the seamers. You look up and he's 43 or 59. 174 for 3. quick drink and a change of gloves for Root and Bairstow, and Root just clearing out whatever it was that flew into his eye. And we've got a change of bowling at the Birmingham end, and they're not listening to you, Ravi. Deja is out of the attack. It's going to be Thakur to replace him.
One way to look at it is he is a man with a golden arm, sometimes breaks partnerships like he did at the Oval. He got Rory Burns and then the gates were open. So they will be hoping for something like that. He got Stokes in the first innings. Crucial breakthrough.
I want to see how England go about taking him on as well. He's the slowest of the seamers that India have on show. And whether or not Bairstow fancies trying to take a big chunk out of the 204 more required and force Jasprit Bumrah to bring someone else back into the attack. So the field is quite interesting straight out of the gate. Got one slip, two catching leg side mid-wicket. We've got a long off and a long on, a deep square leg, and on the gully line, on the fence, a fielder.
That'll be his role. In fact, he's a far better bowler when the ball is reversing. So then he can control, has better control, he can bowl on one side of the wicket. It is reversing a bit now. And that'll be his job. Not to try or experiment too much, just keep it thereabouts. He knows the batsman will target him.
Joe Root has just grabbed the attention of Johnny Bairstow to let him know that the man at deep square leg has moved 10 yards finer. Starts well. Bowls straight. Not a bad ploy to Johnny Bairstow.
Yes, and when it's reversing means you're getting it back into the batsman, which is good from India's point of view, especially when you're bowling to Johnny Bairstow. That is the ideal delivery, one that nips back in.
This field might only be one. Slightly bemused why the captain wouldn't bring himself on with the ball reversing. He'd be by far the best exponent of that, wouldn't he?
He'll have to bowl 5 overs here. Need a 5-over burst from him at some stage.
Guys have catch it, but it's not carried, and it's found the gap as well.
As you add 2 wickets to the score, and the game changes completely. And if there's anyone who can give you those 2 wickets, he's the kind of bowler who can change a game in a spell. As you saw at the Oval last year. It was just a 2-wicket spell, but my word, it made a dent.
For 3. Root is 44. Johnny Bairstow is 23 not out. England need 202. India 7 wickets, but everyone's going to take a breath.
Yeah! because we're making sure everyone's a winner with more shows, more channels, and more BFFs, OMGs, and LOLs all holiday long. Just take a look at this. Riveting stuff. And this. And this. Totally. Hey, with all these new channels, shows, and adventures just waiting for you, it's fun, games, and adventure 24/7 on DS.
Ni'n dod â'r chwaraewyr gorau o Lanelli, Casnewydd, Caerdydd, Abertawe, Llanfair Bwrthgwngell, Gogerychwyd, Drobo, Llantysilio, Gogo Goch, a Thu Hwnt. Ni'n caru dod i dde Affrica. Mae dy chi eithroedd sy'n neud i'r Gymraeg swnio normal. Felly, hen campwyr byd! Oeddech chi'n barod?
England started their second innings with a wonderful opening partnership between Lees and Crawley that was worth 107. And then the passage of play just prior to tea. And after tea, it was all about India. Bumrah managed to persuade Crawley to leave that one, which clipped the top of his off stump. Then the captain removed Ollie Pope straight after the break. And then there was a horrible mix-up between Alex Lees and Joe Root, the left-handed opener, who played so well up until that point, where his 56 was run out. So very quickly, with the tea break in between, it went from 107 without loss to 109 for 3. Since then, though, two senior batsmen, Root and Bairstow, have added good 67 runs. Very important on so many levels. Ball's reversing. Thakur has just been brought back into the attack. Jasprit Bumrah has spent some time off the field. It's time for a little burst from him. England need 202. India needs 7 wickets. Well, we've seen in this summer of Test match cricket, breaks sometimes bring wickets. This is a very important time for Root and Bairstow to switch on.
It's amazing, isn't it? We saw before tea, the ball was changed. There's a break for a minute, 2. Wicket falling after that. You go into tea, you come out after tea, 2 wickets go. And that's been the story right through this test.
Also, after a no ball off the final ball of the over, and you've got to go back and re-bowl it, reset. So a slip, 2 catches on the drive leg side. Point is on the fence, fine leg, deep square leg. Siraj to Root.
Talked about his batting against spin, and you mentioned about his fluency. He's almost like a ballet dancer. He's moves around the crease beautifully. When he plays the game, it's a sideways game, so he's either forward or right back. Ability to use the depth of the crease, which allows him to play late, whether it's a fast bowler or a spin bowler. And one of the secrets why he's been so successful, he never gets bogged down. Very rarely I've seen, even against the best attacks, once he's in, doesn't matter pace, spin, the rhythm that he maintains is pretty consistent.
He's in fine fettle with the bats, 100 at Lords, 100 at Trent Bridge, 86 unbeaten at Headingley. And their supporters will want him to kick on here, but something's happened now. I don't think it's a fly in the eye. Siraj is quite quite rightly frustrated. It's not Root's fault, but that's the second time he has been stopped almost at the point of getting into his delivery stride. One when a fly or something went into Joe Root's eye, and then some gentleman in a very nice hat has wandered behind the bowler's arm. And he's frustrated. Understand that. But it has been a feature of this test match. There's been too much movement behind the bowler's arm. Too much time gets lost out of test cricket without all these silly little interruptions.
What it does, it just doesn't put the bowler off, it puts the batsman off as well. Especially if you're in good nick, the rhythm is good, and then something like that can irritate you, put you off.
Well, the best thing that Mohammad Siraj can do is channel that inner frustration, focus it in on trying to get a breakthrough, because that is what India need now with this partnership moving to 70.
What's good to see is the maturity Bairstow has shown in this innings as well. You know, when you come with a tag of being able to smash it, 300s on the trot, where your strike rate is quite amazing. And you come in when 3 wickets have been lost, you're in a big chase. He's quite happy to play second fiddle to Root and bide his time, fully well knowing he can shift gears at any stage and up the ante.
Puzzled why mid-off would be so deep there.
It's because of those 300s and the 100 in the first innings where he kept smashing it over the top if it was pitched up.
Good point, well made. However, slightly different. The ball is reverse swinging. Bairstow knows that there's pressure on him to deliver for England. 500 runs in the last 5 innings for Johnny Bairstow, with an average of 166. 181 for 3. Bairstow and his batting rating in his test career. Highest rating was back in 2017, a little bit of a lull. Now he's right on the way up. Oh, big appeal, certainly from the bowler, but nothing from the wicketkeeper or Virat Kohli at slip.
Saying inside edge. But this is where Shardul has picked up wickets in the past. You know, just because he's medium pace, times batsmen tend to be a little complacent. Just drop their guard a bit.
Joe Root got done in the first innings with a ball that bounced and came back and took a little piece of the under edge or his gloves.